sweater online. They didn't have social media like that, but I could find some of the comments, right?
Really?
On her
blue
email.
sweater.
Yes,
That is right, blue sweater.
Not a lot of people liked me. Some people. But there was others. I found like I had a little following. I'd go places in Chicago.
But see, there were a lot of women mad with me for even talking about that, because a couple women were like, well, who does he think he is?
That's right.
Objectifying a woman.
That's exactly
a woman
right.
should be able to wear whatever she wants to say.
Right.
And I'm like, look, honestly, I didn't read any of it. I didn't go online to see what the people were saying. One, I didn't even know how to do it. I didn't even know you can do that. Mm-hmm. But I was just like listening to what people were saying in chats and
going
they
had
out
a lot of those
like
chats.
that.
Oh, okay. You mean so I saw
just
some
going
of them
out circle.
Okay, some of them I did read on the group chats. But here's what I will say: that blue sweater is the same kind of tops I have in my closet now. Mm-hmm. My mother was a woman who was voluptuous as well, but she didn't hide her voluptuousness. And so I find that even in my podcast, when I talk to women about women's sexuality, we always start with the question, what kind of panty are you? And then it goes into your comfort zone of not just selecting a panty, but why you select the panty or not. And where does your sexuality, your comfort of your womanness come from? And a lot of them can't identify it. And they found as they get older, they don't enjoy sex as much, or they hide what they've been blessed with because it has brought so much attention, not just from men, but from women who feel as if they are fast or pushing it out there.
And that's so interesting you said it, because my mom is very cover yourself.
Yes.
Girl?
Yes.
That's true. Because she was molested as a child.
Yes.
And had twins at 17 years old. So she was trying to make sure that her kids, the sexualization and the over-sexualization, never happened to us in any capacity. And even for the men, my brother and I, not to sexualize women or anything like that. So that's very interesting you say that, because, she was very cover-up. And
I have also women who shared, not just the women who are voluptuous or... It's not just the breast. It's women who just have, people would identify me as being a very sexy woman. Not because I have anything, I don't show a whole lot of cleavage. It wasn't that show. I wasn't dressed as if I was...
That's funny, because you didn't have any cleavage.
That's what I mean. It's not that. This is who... but I had a mama... Ooh, I know how to put it. I know how to wear it, right? But I had a mother also who did not... She didn't shun. There was no shunning. You are who you are.
Is she American, your mother?
Yes.
Okay.
And so there wasn't any hiding. She actually walked around with her bra and panties. The young boys would peep through our window. I'm like, Mom, you got to put some clothes on, because so and so they just looking in.
Yeah.
So I'm very comfortable, and my daughter is very comfortable, and so our exchange was natural. It wasn't because I felt like I should not wear what I wear.
Right.
I even now to this day don't believe that even women who wear what they wear, should have to cover it up for the sake of somebody else. Now, with that, does that mean that there's going to come jeers and cheers and shouts and all that? If you're the woman that can handle it, like you asked if I was embarrassed or you thought, no, not at all. But if you can handle it, then do you. But if you can't handle it, then you got to figure out something else.
Correct.
So some of the women, to go back to that in the podcast, they are C cups, but they would go without a bra.
Nice.
But
I have no problem with that. Great.
But younger.
Yes,
and their
even better.
And their families would say, why are you showing all of that? Go up there and cover it up. You want somebody to rape you? See, there was, unfortunately, in the black community, this correlation between I'm just doing me. I'm not thinking about sex. But you have all of a sudden dumped all of that.
Your values and issues.
Yeah. And so you have a lot of women hiding. You have a lot of women covering up. I think there are some cases where you have women who are sexually abused or raped, right? It has nothing to do with what they're wearing, because rape isn't about sex, right? But because of that, they want to disappear, right? They choose clothing that will... They don't show anything. Sometimes it's a disconnect, right? I think that we as women have a lot to still work on, so that we're comfortable with who we are. And so in the podcast, I find that women just aren't really comfortable. But what I love about my baddies who come to my podcast, when we talk about whether you're a bloomer versus a thong versus a no panty wearer, I'll have some that will come back to me and whisper and talk about how they're now a no panty wearer.
Oh, versus what they were before.
Yes. And it's very liberating, and I love to hear it because...
Is the no panty wearer like the extreme of the bloomer? Is that like the continuum?
It depends on the woman, right? That's a good question. Or it depends on the woman, because what I in talking and surveying the women, when they say I'm a bloomer wearer or briefs, and I ask why, most of them will say it's because of comfort, or a lot will say because it's comfort. Others will say that they don't want to share and they want to cover up and they don't want to share so much. They're private. So they use it as a covering mechanism. Whereas a woman who chooses to not wear any really is liberated, and she's doing it for self, less about turning him on. There's some of that. Like you're out on a date and you can say, baby, look, or I'm not wearing any panties, and you whisper, right? That's a turn on, we get it. Right. But they're mostly doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
And then you'll find there are women who love the art of just choosing it, and they're not doing it for him. That's what I love. They're doing it for themselves. Those are the women, the baddies, who really are more like rebels. You know, they really understand what the idea of being unleashed is about. You know, it's finding that place in self where you do the things that you really want, what drive you versus how others are driving you. And you don't have to apologize for it. Like, I don't have to give you an explanation because I chose not to wear a bra today or no panties today.
You have on a bra.
I have on a bra.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just telling the people.
Yeah, just tell all my damn business. So, okay, so what would you say? You are in this world of, you know, we know what you do, you know, and that's great. I applaud that. And we know how you were raised and where you come from. But you also mentioned you're a man who's 46, not married, no children. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
You know, I feel differently about it, honestly. Growing up, I've always been on a track to become this man that I have dreamed of, right? But the man that I dreamed of have a wife and children. He's not single at 46 years old. The men that I truly admire and look up to, with one exception, are men who are married with families, not single dudes, because single dudes, you know, do it really. And so... Do
you think the single dude is just like a helpless, hapless...
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Sorrowful kind of guy?
No, because it's like for me, right? I think I cook better than most women. You're in my home. My house is clean. I clean myself.
It is very clean.
Yeah,
ladies.
I clean myself. I have good credit. I own 3 homes here in Chicago. I go to church. I love the Lord. So I'm not that dude that quote unquote needs a woman to survive and live, because I don't. But I honestly, sincerely believe that I'm at the, I can't grow much more as a single man, as a man without a woman.
So what, can you rent a wife?
Listen, it's not for a lack of interest. It's that...
No, ladies, please. I'm going to post a picture of him. Not at all. I am sure you get hit on a lot.
And it's not like that either. Okay. It's like, it used to be like that. And I was wondering, I had to ask somebody, am I still attractive? Because the action I used to get, shit, what the hell? It's like, does it at 45, then it just go, I don't gotta want that no more. And so it's very interesting. This is a very interesting age to be single. Because at this age, everybody goes, okay, if you 46 never married, you got issues.
Yeah.
You gay?
Yeah.
Okay, if he ain't gay, he must don't have a job.
Yeah.
Well, okay, he got a job. Okay, you live with your mama, right? No, I don't live with my mama. So it's always what's wrong? What's wrong? Yeah,
the angry black man, or you got issues with women.
Or just irresponsible. Or the brother player. Or a player. Yeah, absolutely. All of the above. Yeah. And so for me, I have always wanted to be married, and my friends tell me I'm too picky, I'm too particular.
I remember that about you.
I'm too intolerant.
I remember that about you.
And it's probably still all true. And so now, when I talk to an older married man, a brother of mine who I confide in, I'm like, listen, this is something that I want. And so there's only one common denominator in every relationship I've had. That's me.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your longest relationship?
maybe a year and a half.
That sucks.
I mean, it's just what it was.
No, it sucks.
No, I think 4 or 5 years suck.
No.
And then you break up anyway, and you spend, hell
But at least that says to someone you can do long term.
No, it doesn't say that.
It does.
It says you're willing to compromise and go with crap that you saw 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. I had a cat for 20 years. I grew up with dogs.
I tell people who are single and they're over a certain age, you need responsibilities, because what you're sharing is the shit you got to deal with when you're stuck with the person. And I don't mean stuck in a bad way.
The dog is happy to see you every day at least.
No, well, it's a repetition of caring for someone day in and day out.
Plants.
Plants are not the same.
Yeah.
They don't return any sort of affection.
Oxygen.
Yeah. So you need a dog.
I need oxygen to live.
Or adopt a child. Because I think you're going to be, this is me giving wisdom and advice.
Go ahead.
But I think you would do really well and be less picky if you had that person, that heart, soul you had to take care of.
That's interesting you say that. Before, I dated 3 women with kids, and I said, it's too difficult. I will never do it again.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But now, I am changing my mind on that. Well, one, because a lot of women at this age have kids.
That is
but
true.
A lot don't, though. Because maybe a kid, because I grew up, my mom dated, they never married, but she dated another man who took us into his home. Mm-hmm. And he showed us the ways of manhood. Without this man, I would not be the man that I am.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I guarantee I would not be the man that. Because my mom.
Do you refer to him as your stepdad?
I never said he was my stepdad. He was very mean to me.
Okay.
He loved my other brother. He loved the other ones. Because this man was a very hard worker, very industrious man. He was an uneducated man, though. Mm-hmm. And I was always with books. I was always trying to better myself academically. So he was a millionaire. He was one of the wealthiest black men in Winter Park, Florida, because he owned rooming properties. He owned properties. So my brother and I on the weekends and after school, we'd have to go work. So like this whole house, most of the stuff you saw here, I did. I painted. I took up the baseboards. I put down the wire, the glass mosaics. I did the wiring for the lights and all this because we learned this stuff growing up. Mm-hmm. I just never wanted to do it. You know, my brother's a general contractor now, but I never wanted to do this kind of work. So he was a very hardworking man, but he was non-emotional.
Yeah.
So if something happened and you cry, what you crying for?
Yeah.
Boy, get up. Men don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's like, boys, listen, men do cry. Mm-hmm. Forget about this foolishness. He's saying, if you heard him talk to me or talk to somebody,
good.
blah, 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 blah.
So you had a balance.
I totally had a balance. But he wasn't that emotional kind of guy.
Yeah, you couldn't get that from him.
Couldn't get that from him. Didn't get that from him, but they never got married. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if growing up, seeing dysfunction as normal, seeing you can coexist, but you don't marry, or my daddy, you know, with different women, I don't want to even blame, you know, I'm a product. No, hell no. I haven't to this day. My mom asked me, she said, son, I know you like women. I done seen quite a few of them over the years, so I know you don't like dudes. And she said, have you ever found one woman that you thought was the one? I said, I did. There was one that I thought was the one, and she got away, but she got married. And then she moved to California. And then when her and her husband got divorced, when I found out she was divorced, I went to California to
reconnect.
Check her out. Absolutely.
Yeah. Rekindle
absolutely.
The flame.
Absolutely.
Turn out
and when
the
I was there, I remembered why it didn't work in the first place.
Why?
So it was just she's a good person, but she's one of those know-it-all kind of women. Just know-it-all. And I like smart women, but you don't need to know everything.
But okay, so I think I recall this. Do you recall telling me that and I don't know if you still believe this, but I do recall you telling me that there could only in a relationship, only one person's light can shine?
No. Maybe at a time. Meaning, no, I don't believe that at all. Because I don't want this dumb woman. Hell no. I don't want the woman that's obscure and she just stuck in a corner somewhere. That's not what I want.
Could you marry someone who was in the limelight?
Yeah, I think so. But let me say this. I'm attracted to powerful women. I'm attracted to smart women. The women I've dated are people who are doing stuff. Okay. Always. I believe that when it's my time to shine, it's my time to shine. When it's your time to shine, I take all of my light and I put it on you because you're the one who's shining right now. So if you're on the stage and whatnot, don't